Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from watching the Saga of Tanya, the Evil movie. Now, when it comes to most anime movies that are released in the States for a one-time only event like this, some are mainly just recaps of the events of the anime they're based off of, or they don't require you to see most of the anime in order to get the full experience. But for this one, you definitely need to watch the first season of Saga of Tanya the Evil first to get the most out of this. But for the sake of expediency, I'll tell you the plot of the story quickly. The story of Saga of Tanya the Evil is about a businessman who ends up being reincarnated in another world when he ends up not dying, and he gets reincarnated into the form of a little girl who now has to deal with not only a war in another world that she is forced to fight in, but also in a spitting match with God himself, who constantly changes the rules on the fly. In this movie, after the events of the first season, Tanya, who still wants that position in the rear echelon, so she won't have fear of dying, is now forced to contend with an entire world war with almost every country going against her. And on top of that, she has to deal with the daughter of a soldier that she killed in the first season, named Mary Sue, and she also has to deal with a lolicon commander who wants to destroy her battalion, not only to win the war for his country, but so he can have her to be his, you know what? Yeah, creepy. But let's get to what I liked about the movie, shall we? The movie basically, as a direct continuation, doesn't waste any time recapping the plot of the original Yojo Senki. At least not so much that it feels like it's just cashing in on that. The humor throughout the film is pretty darn good, and the fact that Tanya is such an interesting character is mainly due to the fact that she's a businessman in a little girl's body. So at one moment, she'll berate her comrades for their incompetence. On another moment, she'll give them free booze. On another moment, she'll have them get a step stool for her because she's so short. She's very versatile with her type of humor, and Aoi Yuki, the actress who plays her, really sells the character just as well as she did in the series. On top of that, Mary Sue, the new villain that she has to fight, is very good as well. I say, well, she's a villain by circumstance, let's just say. Mary is honestly a character that feels like the rage-loaded rival done right, because you understand her motivation, you understand why she's as nuts as she is, and you understand why she'd do all these actions in the movie, while you also get to see what the effects of war can do to someone that young and that impressionable. Unfortunately, the movie does get a little overbloated when it comes to its side characters, and most of them outside of the lolicon commander Loria aren't really that memorable. Most of them are just there to get the plot moving along. Whenever the plot focuses on Mary and Tanya, it's great. Mainly because both are interesting characters and both happen to deliver some of the show's best action scenes. But the action scenes that happen outside of the final battle generally aren't great. They have their moments, such as some beautiful animation of exploding bullets bursting through buildings, slaughtering soldiers, and even a scene where Tanya's battalion sings their national anthem on enemy territory, while also filming for a movie. Yeah, they do that. But some of the other action scenes are a little too static for movie quality. Some just have people floating in the middle of a battle talking to each other, while we see either CGI soldiers or barely moving soldiers blasting down on people. But the final battle that we get in the movie manages to make up for all of those. It's flashy, it's creative, it's full of huge explosions, tons of blood, combat on the ground, combat in the air, tons of buildings being destroyed. It's pretty much everything you'd want out of a Saga of Tanya the Evil battle. And pretty much it's the best one out of the whole series, which you'd kind of expect given the budget of a movie versus the budget of a TV show. So overall, Saga of Tanya the Evil, the movie, is clearly made for the fans. If you're not a fan of the series and you haven't seen the first season, you're not going to get a lot out of it. But if you're a fan like myself, it's definitely a continuation that Tanya deserved, that has the humor, the style, the violence, and the interesting characters to make it a worthwhile addition to your anime collection. I give Saga of Tanya the Evil the movie a 7.5 out of 10. See you next time.